Hello, welcome. My name is Victoria and this is my puppy Alfie, and we're coming to you from beautiful British Columbia. I'm here to tell you about an effective tool for panic attacks. It's not going to work for every single type of panic attacks. We're going to tell you exactly what kind of panic attacks it would be really effective at. The first type is when you don't know what caused the panic attacks. I had multiple clients come to me and tell me they're experiencing these episodes. They actually have no clue what's causing them. Okay, so that's number one. And number two is when we experience like an internal conflict. Let me give you an example. Let's say you really don't like to go to college, you don't want to take college classes, but you feel that you have to because you worry that if you don't, you're going to disappoint your parents or that they're going to get angry and upset. So there's an internal conflict. You feel like you have to, but you really don't want to, right? So that conflict can cause internal anxiety that eventually can spill in full-on panic attack. So in these two cases I'm describing, this could be a really effective tool. The tools that when it wouldn't work is when you have a panic attack that's caused by external threat, like if somebody actually threatening you, or your partner is leaving, or if you're on a plane and you're scared of flying. In these instances, that's not an effective tool. This particular tool I'm basing on a theory that is provided by Dr. Gabor Maté. He lives in Vancouver. He's a really prominent, worldwide known doctor. And he wrote a book, When the Body Says No. And it's an incredible book. If you haven't read it, I really highly recommend. And the whole premise of a book is that when we don't listen to our bodies, when we compromise our well-being continuously, what happens is our bodies will eventually say no. And they will say no in very dramatic, drastic ways, like somebody developing an autoimmune condition or even cancer. I see a panic attack as in a way an extension of that. That's not what he talks about in the book, but this is what I'm taking it to. That when we don't listen to our bodies, when they're trying to tell us about something, the body will amplify the message to the panic attack, where you kind of have to stop doing and listen, right? So because we see it through the approach that the body is talking to us, and when we're not listening, it starts to amplify the signal. Well, it seems like a pretty straightforward path that we want to speak back to it, to let it know that we're getting the signal, right? It's the same thing as if a child is crying and crying to get your attention, and the more we ignore it, the louder it gets, right? But if we turn and acknowledge the child and tell them like they're important, we're listening, we're going to see that child starts to calm down. So this is the actual practice of this. We're going to talk, we're going to listen and speak back to our body. And we start to experience an increased anxiety, bordering on panic, on when you are in a panic attack already. This is the script what you're gonna say. My dear body, I'm listening. I'm hearing you very overwhelmed, upset, distressed, triggered. Thank you for letting me know. Okay? Very simple, very basic stuff of acknowledging what's happening for our body. Step one, right? I'm going to include the wording down below. Second step depends on what kind of panic attack. If you have no idea why you're experiencing the panic attack, what you're going to say here is, this is very important that you're telling me this. I do not know yet why you're feeling this way, but I'm going to do everything I can to figure it out and help you resolve this or help you feel better. So we're showing up with support and we're promising to do something about it. In a scenario where you know what's causing the panic attack, you're going to say, thank you for letting me know. It's very important. I hear you, that you're very distressed about this. About, for example, going to school when you really don't want to because I'm scared to disappoint the parents. I get that it's not working for you. I'm going to do everything I can to figure this out. So very similar. Step two, very similar for both. Now, the third step. The third step is that you actually have to follow through with what you're promising to your body. You have to figure out a way how to resolve this, or how to figure out what you're panicking about. So there's a number of things you can do. You can do some journaling. You can do bibliotherapy, which is healing through learning and reading healing materials. You can do some sessions with a psychologist, a psychotherapist, or you can talk to a wise person, somebody who is old, wise, and mature. They can impart a lot of wisdom on you. But something has to happen. Otherwise, what's going to happen? Your body just will continue to amplify the signal if you're not doing anything about, and the panic will return, or maybe something even worse, right? I'm going to include the script of the wording for step number 1 and step number 2 below in the description. So you can, I suggest, if you want to try the strategy, like copy it into your phone, so that whenever you feel that increased sense of anxiety or panic, you can easily access it and read it. You don't have to even memorize it. Just read it off your phone and say it to yourself. What you might experience is sometimes people feel like a really immediate sense of relief. Sometimes it can be more subtle, but you might also experience some tingling and twitching as there's some sort of expression of that energy for your body. That's totally normal. Don't get freaked out if you started tingle. That's totally okay. But through that strategy, you're gonna, if it's the right panic attacks that I described, you're gonna feel some resolution and calm, and definitely lowering of intensity, right? Because that's what we're aiming for. So yes, have it somewhere on your phone that you can easily access it. Trust me, you're not going to remember this if you're in the middle of panic attack. That wording is not going to be accessible to you. So have it somewhere where you can whip it out and read it to yourself, okay? Well, that's it for this tool. I would love to hear what you guys think. Is this something you've tried before? Do you think you might want to give it a try? If you feel like there's benefit in this tool, I really would love if you give it a thumbs up, and if you share it with your family and friends. See you today, and I hope to see you next week. Have a wonderful evening. Ciao.